Howdy folks, Jimmy Lee here, back with another Predator review. Today we are looking at the Aliens vs. Predator Arcade Warrior Predator figure by NECA Toys. If you haven't visited my Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, I posted a video there, a little like 30-second video of me performing, well, about to perform water treatment on this guy's shoulder. Nothing surprising, but it kinda pissed me off a little bit because I've had such a bad streak with QC with these Predators this last week or so. It's kind of sad, but I think I ranted about that enough in the last review. Speaking of which, if you want to check out my last review, which is the Thermal Vision Fugitive Predator, the Target exclusive, a link can be found down below. And if I can figure it out, I'll put those little tab things here at the top. Anywho, without further ado, let's get started. As always, I want to take a quick look at this packaging. Nothing too special. Obviously, it's not an Ultimate Edition, so it's just a standard box. I don't know if you can see in there, but there is actually a background based off of the arcade game. It's all pixelized and everything, which is pretty cool. Definitely will look cool on the shelf because I like to use these for my displays. Haven't put any up yet. Got to do that, but I do keep them because you never know. And there's a cool image of the Predator, the actual figure, and this is the Alien vs. Predator Warrior Predator. So, yep. And the side has another picture of the figure, looking pretty cool. He's holding the turret there. And another side, again, not of the figure, but art. And then the back is pretty cool because it looks all arcadey, and there's the actual figure holding the spear, which is looking nice. There's a little health bar and stuff there, which is pretty cool. And also the other figures in the wave. I'm missing Mad Predator. I can't find him anywhere for some reason, and the Aliens and Dutch and Lynn aren't out yet. So I'm looking forward to those, but if they have the same damn QC issues as these, I'm gonna be pissed. And here is the figure himself. I'll be honest with you, the QC isn't too bad with him. I really only had the problem with the shoulder, which I'll show later in the video. But besides that, he's pretty good. You know, I don't have any of the ripped wires, no other paint, you know, is shutting the joints, specifically in the ball joints. They seem okay. And besides the shoulder, I'd say the only other thing would probably be some paint bleeding on part of the gauntlet, which, you know, it's, what can you do? I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, but he's a great looking figure. I like the color scheme. It's definitely unique. I know it's just a repaint of the Ultimate Edition Jungle Hunter Predator, but I think it works perfectly for this guy. And honestly, and I'll be honest with you, I don't have much experience with the video game. However, I completely dig anything with that classic mask. I love it. It's awesome. I have witnessed the game, but I have not played it extensively, but I want to do that in the future when I can acquire it. But he's looking very, very pretty. I like him a lot. He does come with some stuff, and let's actually get into that really quick before I can show you all the detail on stuff. First thing I want to show would be the combi stick. Nothing too fancy. It's pretty much the same combi stick that we get with most of our Predators, only this one is brown with some red stripes here and blotches. I guess that's kind of white, I guess, but yeah, it does not retract, which kind of sucks because I know some of the City Hunters and other Predators did have some that could retract, but you know, it's not too bad, and I'm glad these haven't broken off yet. I cannot tell you how many of these I broke off, and that's purely my fault because I'm just a dumbass. But yeah, so he comes with the combi stick. Next up would be the turret, and I think I have it upside down. There we go. Which is really just a repaint of the ones we got before. The one I have at hand here came with the Kenner Ripley right here, and you can tell they are pretty much exactly the same. Obviously, this has the color scheme appropriate to the video game with the, you know, I guess it's a light cloud blue in a way with tints of white, whilst this one has black with like a nice coating of silver, gunmetal. So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of nice to have a Predator that has a weapon that's not a combi stick or, you know, the discs or whatever. So, it's pretty cool. Now, he does not come with any extra hands, unfortunately, but the hands he does come with obviously can hold these weapons. The combi stick can fit here in the left hand, so it fits in there pretty snug. I like that. And then this one is meant for the gun. Typically, you can have them, you know, only hold it with one hand, or you can do the whole two-handed turret thing, but I feel like, you know, as a Predator, he's pretty strong, so he can just hold it however he wants. But to be honest with you, I kind of just like him to not even point at anybody, just hold it in his right hand. And, you know, off camera I just tried putting it, you know, Ripley style or Vasquez style, holding it with both hands. It doesn't really work too well, but I'd probably display it like this. I kind of like it, because obviously it's a really, really heavy piece of machinery, and he's just holding it with like one arm like a badass, so I think it looks pretty cool. So the head sculpt here is just a repaint of the classic Jungle Hunter, and I think they did a really, really nice job. Very, very old style gamey, very arcadey. Definitely like the sky blue they use here for the mask. And there's actually, I guess that you can call that a shade of green with some darker blue, which is kind of nice. Mine has some scratches. It's kind of annoying, but what can you do? And the dreadlocks are nicely sculpted and painted. You actually have different hair ties or clips, which is pretty nice looking. And you cannot remove the mask, but the skin underneath is detailed and sculpted beautifully. Really, really like that, and so is actually the neck and under the jaw. So that's nice. He does come with his plasma caster or plasma cannon or shoulder cannon, whatever you want to call it. Again, completely the same mold as any other plasma caster you would come across, only a different color. Again, they use that nice shade of blue with some white and some lighter blues, or actually this is more of a gray here, and it's pretty nice looking. This doesn't have any paint. It looks like it's just molded in that gray, which is fine. And you got some some gunmetal. No, it doesn't look like gunmetal. I think that's just white with some of the gray splattered onto it. But yeah. And the back, you know, you do have the fishnets, again, sculpted. You can feel them with your fingers, not just painted on. Always appreciate that. Do have the little shoulder pad here. Good, nice paint. Got the straps here. And it's pretty much a Jungle Hunter. Only not a Jungle Hunter. And again, these wires have yet to rip. I haven't ripped one of these in a while, so NECA, keep doing what you're doing, because these are sturdy now. Like, they are in there, which is really, really nice. And he's got his little skirt. I wish I had a skirt like this. I do. You know you guys do too. Don't lie to me. But here are his shins. Again, like this single blotch of white on top of the gray, very arcadey. And you do have his feet here. Nails are painted white. Good yellowish color for the skin. Again, that's like really good detail in there too. You can even see you can even see some veins in there. I just noticed that. That's crazy. And he does have peg holes in case you want to buy some of those NECA stands. But honestly, he stands perfectly by himself. I mean, I don't have any stands for any of my Predators. They all seem to stand on their own, except for one of them, but that's just because his legs are a little bit loose. But this guy's sturdy. Like, he's not going anywhere, which is great. Anyways, I do want to show you some comparisons. I do have the Jungle Hunter, the Ultimate Edition Jungle Hunter, which is the predecessor to this figure. They're the same mold. Only obviously this one's the updated one from, I think, like last year, you know, with the new abs and stuff, which is nice. So, they're pretty much the same. I can zoom in and show you if anyone's curious, but, yeah, pretty much the same. Nothing too much going on. I love this figure so much. This is like the definitive Predator you should get, because he's got it all. Like, he's the classic, he's got all the articulation you can dream for, extra heads, he's amazing. And honestly, I have this thing like going on in my room where I have all the classic Predators in one shelf of the bookshelf, regardless if they're canon with the movies or not. I think he's gonna go there. Like, I know he's the arcade version and stuff, but it would just be so cool to have him with my army of classic Predators. But sorry, I'm nerding out. And here is Warrior next to his funny little partner here, the Hunter Predator, which is just a repaint of the City Hunter, but I love him. And I do have Arnie here, just to show the scale. They're still in scale. Arnie's a little boy compared to this man here, even though this dude could probably kick my ass with one finger. And I do have Fugitive Predator back there, who I thought he was tall. I think he still is taller, actually. Is he? Yeah, Fugitive Predator is still bigger than most of the Predators that we get. Until the Assassin Predator, because that thing, like, go check out my video if you haven't. I'll try and put a link down below. That bitch is huge. Okay, time for Articulation. Again, same mold, so the head can move up that much, and it can go down that much. It can move or swivel side to side and rotate fully. The dreadlocks are pretty manipulative. You can get them around the plasma caster, and if you want to get him in a very specific pose, you can just pop this thing off. And this itself, you know, has the typical plasma caster articulation, a hinge down at the bottom, and a ball joint at the top for you to do whatever you want. And I'll actually leave this off because it's easier. Okay, so he obviously has this big shoulder pad here, so it can go out pretty far, in that much. Forward, but be careful of that wire, and back that much. And the double jointed elbow, which I don't like doing because I'm scared I'm going to rip this, so just keep that in mind. And the wrist gauntlet, or the destructive device, as it's infamously known as, can open up, but it's not painted. That's weird. Usually they would paint that, but you know, I guess it's an arcade version. But anyway, has some nice detail in there too. And the wrists, they can rotate fully, as well as go out and in. Just be careful because these like to break off. Now here's where I had the trouble. This shoulder joint, it can move, you know, forward and back just fine, do the 360, but going out is, like, it can a little bit. I worked at this too. I still got to do more treatment on it, but it just does not want to budge. It can move a little bit, but not enough. Ugh. NECA. He does have an upper bicep cut, as well as he did here, I forgot to mention. Another double jointed elbow, and he has that amazing ab articulation. So there's the first joint and then the second one. So he can go all over the place. I love that joint so much. Because I remember back in the day when we didn't have these, it was just a solid chunk. And having it now, it's just, man, amazing. Okay, ball joints. Go forward that much. This really hinders it, which is okay. Back that much, and he can do the splits pretty far, actually. And he does have the thigh cut, a double jointed knee, and the foot can go forward that much, back that much, side to side, as well as rotate. So he has got it all, except that stupid effing shoulder. But I'm sure I can fix that. Oh, and the wrist blades. They can retract. They're a little bit bent on mine, but most of them are like that, so I'm not too surprised. And if you want to put this back on, it's, you know, the same like all the others. I actually like to do it this way, start with the top for this one specifically. Because it just doesn't like to stay in very well, but it's tight when I do it that way. So, yeah. Okay, so do I recommend this figure? Sure. He has a hell of a lot better QC than the last figure I reviewed, Fugitive Predator. But in all seriousness, it's a really cool figure. Yeah, you know, the paint was shut, whatever, most of them are like that. I think it's still a really badass figure. I'm a sucker, so I bought it. And come on, you can't beat that Jungle Hunter look. And especially, you know, for people who played the game extensively, this must mean a lot more for them than it does to me. Again, a little bit of experience, but I didn't play the full game, which I'm going to in the future, once I acquire it. So if you see this in the wild and you're a Predator fan, I highly recommend it. It's a very, very cool figure, and he has a lot of detail. Just know... QC. With that said and done, people, go check out the Sanctuary on Facebook. Let me adjust the camera, get this beauty centered. There we are. Lovely group of collectors. All those collectors' YouTube channels are down in the description below, as well as my previous videos. And that's all I got for today. Let me know what you think about this figure. Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to pass on it? Did you like the video game? Did you like this character? Let me know all that and more. I reply to every single comment, and I've been getting a lot of comments lately, which is awesome. So I want to interact with y'all folks out there. So please comment. Please do. Anyways, you guys have a good morning, evening, midday, whatever, and take care.